Now it's recording. Say hello.
Hello.
Come here and say hi.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
They're saying lie. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. As always, whether you like it in the butt, whether you like it in the vagina hole or like it in the mouth, always, I want to thank you for watching. And if you're one of those who listen to the audio-only podcast, I want to thank you for using your ears and listening. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everything except the after effects of a spicy burrito. Big news story today. Big. It's huge. It is probably the greatest news story that has ever happened to mankind. It's of utmost importance. And if you haven't heard about it, where have you been? There was a baby born in Indonesia. Baby boy. He is the first baby male born naturally, and I found it odd that they use that word, but born naturally with 3 penises. The boy has 3 penises. The reason I find it funny why they say naturally, like, is that a thing? Somebody has a boy somewhere and says, oh no, not the 1 penis. I want you to attach 1 or 2 more just to make sure. I don't know. But they made it sound like that's what was happening. Now, this kid, I'm not really sure whether to feel sorry for him or to think he's going to have the greatest life ever. I don't know. Because on the one hand, no matter what he does in life from now on, it doesn't matter. Once he grows up, he could discover cures for diseases that we've been trying to cure for years. His mind could be brilliant. He could be one of the greatest scientists ever and change the course of disease and mankind. And yet, let's say he came up with a cure for 3 diseases. He grows up. He finds a cure for cancer. He finds a cure for the common cold. He finds a cure forever from any further coronaviruses. And the headline would simply read, "Man with 3 penises finds the trifecta of cures." And of course the word try would be in parentheses because, or quotation marks, because that's what he's going to be known for. And that's going to kind of suck, He might want to excel at sports, but, they have to make a special cup for that kind of situation. I don't know. On the other hand, I can't decide, like if he's got 3 penises but only 2 testicles, like those things are going to be working overtime when he hits puberty, trying to get blood flow to all 3. And I'm not sure if he needs an extra testicle, or more importantly, when he hits puberty, an extra hand. Because what are you going to do if they all work simultaneously? Can you imagine, like, he wants to jerk off. He does, but he can't because they all 3 work together, and somehow it's like he's only got 2 hands, and he would have to be like a concert pianist. Just, I got to stroke the ivories over here. I got to go over here. I got to be like playing the bagpipes or something. It would probably be very frustrating. On the other hand, or on the other penis, this could give him some leeway if he ever got married or anything. Let's say he grows up, he finds a woman, he loves her, got 3 penises. They wind up obviously having the sex. And but a few years later, she finds out that he has been cheating on her. Oh no. Oh no. But he could always get out of that, right? By saying, listen, I didn't have sex with her with our penis, the one I used with you. No, I used the second one. I used the third penis for her because that's how insignificant that moment meant. It didn't mean anything. He might be able to get out of some trouble that the rest of us can't. I don't know, but if he would have been born with 5 penises, we could have said his pants fit like a glove. Ba-boom. Yeah, so that happened. That's actually a true story. Look it up. Boy with 3 penises, Indonesia. You'll find the articles. It's kind of like one of those Siamese twins kind of things, except with dicks. You know, it's like you have Siamese twins. They're joined at the hip. They're joined at the rib cage. And you always hear stories about Siamese twins. Or I guess that's the inappropriate term. The term is conjoined twins. My apologies to the PC police. But you always hear stories about how they always find these people who are not also conjoined twins, and they each marry a different person. And they have kids sometimes. And I don't know how that works. Like, are the genitals connected when it's connected at the rib? I don't understand how that works. Like, let's say a pair of conjoined male twins finds 2 separate women to marry them. If one of them wants to have sex with his wife, but the other one doesn't, do they share the same sensation in the penis? I don't know. Would that be considered cheating if it does? I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation. It's like people like to talk about things like that, like the conjoined twins, and but all the interviews and everything, they focus on their life and their hardships, but nobody ever wants to ask the tough questions. Do you share a penis? Is it the same feeling? Does one of you have to go to sleep so the other one can have some kind of intercourse with the wife? I don't know. Those are the questions I think people want to know. And those are the questions that are never asked, unfortunately. But hey, everything's going great here. In case you don't know, if this is your first time, I know longtime listeners from the last, if you were here a long time ago, like 12 videos or episodes, I live in Cambodia. And things are getting a little tight. They're getting a little lockdown-y. They're getting a little curfew-y here because of the old Rona going around, and outbreaks are happening and all that. But so far, it really hasn't affected us at all. I'm still free to come. I'm free to go. I'm free to take a shower and jack off and come again. I'm free to do all that stuff. But there are things happening here, like you have to go to a certain website that has a special QR scanner code, or a special QR scanner. And some businesses have these big signs in front with the QR code. And before you can go in, you have to scan it from this special website. You can't just use any old scanner. So that it can track you, it can trace you in case there's an outbreak. They know who to contact to get a test and all that. And while I think that's good, I also think that's a little bit more than what I care to share. Like personally, I don't have a problem with privacy. I know there's a lot of people, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, you're giving away your privacy. They're selling your privacy, and people have access to your stuff. I don't really worry about that much because My privacy isn't an issue. What about identity theft? I've never worried about identity theft. Hey, if you want to steal my identity, feel free to do so. And hopefully along the way, because you're not going to get any money or credits, you're not going to get any like a good credit score or any money out of it. But if you want to help pay off some of my bills, hey, feel free to do so. When I get it back, I'll be much appreciated. I don't worry about stuff like that. I know a lot of people do. That's all right. But still, the fact that there's only this one scanner at this certain website you have to use, that kind of bothers me a little bit. But I've never worried about the big things. That's my whole life. That's my whole anxiety thing, is that like big issues is something I've never worried about. I realize, and not because I don't think these issues are true or that they're not happening, but just because, I don't know, there's just a disconnect between me and those things. For instance, plastic. Plastic is bad. Get rid of plastic. And yet, I go out every day, I get an iced coffee. Guess what? It comes in a plastic cup. It's got a plastic lid. It's got a one-use plastic straw, and it even comes in a little plastic bag with handles so I can carry it around with me without worrying about squeezing it too hard and spilling it. And it fits right on a little hook that's on the front of my motorbike here, in case I want to drive along with it and drink at my leisure. And everybody would say, you're a horrible person. You're contributing to climate change, global warming, killing of sea turtles in an ocean somewhere. And while I understand, still, like I said, there's a disconnect, and I don't concern myself with that. What do you want me to do? Drink out of one of those reusable straws, the bamboo. They have a taste. When you drink something out of there, there's a taste. And then you got to worry about keeping the straw clean, because you use it 4 or 5 times and you're out and about and there is dust everywhere, and that's just too much of a hassle. Do I really need to be that concerned about a straw? I can barely keep track of dirty dishes for like a fork. Sometimes I'm just digging through going, where's one clean one? And you want me to be concerned about a straw? I don't think I'm going to do that. And they do leave a taste. They leave an aftertaste. And if you don't clean it off right away, of course, you got germs, you got bacteria, and you got the taste of whatever was in there before it, because it gets absorbed. And I just don't like that. I'm not saying it's not the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's better for the environment, because it is. So don't get all... don't come here and throw recycled trash into my yard or anything, all you activists. But I'm just saying I don't want to deal with it. It's not my thing. Have it be your thing. That's cool. You can have your things. I'll have my things. I get pissed off. I get concerned. I get alarmed at the small things. Back home, going to work. Right, I get up. I get something to eat. I go to get dressed, and my job was in a factory, so I had to put on the blue jeans. I had to put on the proper shirt. We had to wear steel-toed boots and all that. And sometimes, a couple times, I'd be pulling up the laces of my boots, and the shoelace would break. That will drive me off the edge for some reason. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's that kind of small thing. It's not the big things. It's that kind of small thing that would just drive me into a fit. Like, my day was ruined if that happened. I could go to work and have the best day ever at that job, and it wouldn't be for me because I broke that shoelace. Because first, who has extra shoelaces at their house? Nobody thinks about those things. Nobody stocks up on shoelaces. We stock up on a lot of little things we know we're going to need, but nobody ever thinks about shoelaces. And so when it breaks, you don't have an extra pair laying around. You're just sitting there going, oh, now I can't tie it up the way I'm accustomed to, and the top's going to be loose because now I got to kind of wrap and tuck it in. And now after work, oh my God, now I got to stop at a store. I got to find fucking shoelaces after I've already worked 8 to 10 hours. Where do you go find shoelaces? You go to a shoe store. Go into a shoe store and just say, I'm looking for shoelaces. I'm sure they have them somewhere. But what kind do you get? They have more than one kind, I found out, and was not aware of. It's like, really? I just need ones that will fit. I just need long ones, like for my boots. And most of the employees there, they have no idea. They just want, what size? I don't know what size. For my boots. That's the size I want. So you got to go through them, make a choice, like it's a big life decision, It's just a mess. But little things like that are the things that piss me off. Just little things who make me have just weigh on my mind the whole day. I don't want to deal with it, but I know I have to. And those are the things I'm concerned about. Yeah, coronavirus killing everybody. Yeah, whatever. Global warming. Yeah, it's true, but again, whatever. Broken shoelace. Send me over the edge. I'm going to go home and get drunk because I can't handle having to look for shoelaces. Here's your close-up and personal look at the way my mind works, by the way. I don't expect you to thank me for it, but when I die, I'm going to donate my body to science fiction. Ha ha. That wasn't my joke. It was somebody else's. I forget whose. Let me know if you remember that. When I die, I'm going to donate my body to science fiction, because that's a funny joke. But yeah, we live in an age now where we got cures for diseases we didn't have a while ago. We got babies being born with 3 dicks, and guys like me who are just worried about their shoelaces or something being a little different one day and just going off the edge, going off the deep end. I never knew why that was a thing. They say going off the deep end. What does that mean? I realize you have a pool, you have a deep end, you have a shallow end. But either way, you go in the deep end, you go in the shallow end, you're going to get wet. So I don't know why the deep end is always worse. I guess there's this whole thing about drowning. But nobody says I'm diving off the deep end, because that's the only place you would want to dive. You don't want to dive off the shallow end. Come on. I think I've said enough. All right. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for liking, subscribing, leaving me a comment. For those of you that do, I really appreciate it. I do read them. And of course, if you're listening on the audio only podcast, you don't get to see the comments. You don't get to leave a comment. You don't get to hit a like button, and that's just crazy. So there's a link if you're listening on Anchor.fm or Spotify. In my description, there's a link to my YouTube channel. You can come here and watch me as I'm saying the things you are listening to right now and do all those things. And it's always appreciated. All right. I think Senglai wants to say goodbye.
Good night.
Louder.
Good night.
There you go. You heard it from her right over there. Senglai says good night. And the reason I did that is because I know a lot of people think she's fake. Because she never talks. I mean, she's in the background of my videos, but a lot of people are like, is that your maid? Is that just somebody you have, in Cambodia cleaning up? I'm like, no, really, she's my girlfriend, but it sounds fake. I got a girlfriend, but she lives in another country. So once in a while, I have to throw her in there and let you know that it's real. I realize you look at this and think, there's no way he can even get a girlfriend, but it's true. Believe it or not, Kingdom of Wonder, as it's called over here in Cambodia. And that's proof enough right there. All right. Thank you guys again. And I will talk to you in the next one. Don't fart in the soup.